Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 17 of the 31 Days of Horror. DBougie86 here today, and today I got a movie that's something very different than usual because, first off, I will admit this is not really a full-blown horror genre pick, but it has enough elements that I wanted to still check it out during the 31 days. And it's a film that caught my eye, and this one was released by SRS Cinema, and that is the iDol. Yes, this is directed by Norman England, who is an American who lives in Japan. He actually has been living in Japan for years, and pretty much this film is kind of based on his experiences in Japan, in a sense where he got to know the culture, and this is his film expressing that culture. And it's actually a very cool film. I'll get into some giddy nerd moments of Asian cinema. But yeah, it's written by him and co-written by Jiro Kaneko, who is the brother of Shusuke Kaneko, who, of course, you probably know that name if you follow my love of kaiju movies. He's the director of the 90s Gamera trilogy and the director of GMK. His brother co-wrote this movie. And it also has another connection to the Gamera trilogy and GMK in a second. I'll get into that in a minute. But the iDol would pretty much introduce to our main character, Ken, who is a toy collector. One day he picks up this weird looking action figure of this guy right here. He picks up this little spaceman, picks it up, and he finds out that this toy, this iDol as it's called, is actually an actual alien. And what this alien does is it grants Ken his wishes. But then as the film progresses, it also takes away everything. So you kind of get to see this movie kind of has a Twilight Zone feel to what the story is. I'd give a lot more, but unfortunately this movie is actually very short. It actually only runs 52 minutes. So this gets right into it, and you see kind of like this morality tale, and it ends with some funny moments with Ken later on in the movie, and the movie climaxes. I try not to give a lot away in this one because I actually really fucking like this movie. It's very unique for a Asian cinema type film, and it has a lot of love letters to Asian cinema from that time period that was made in 2006, 2005 era. I think it was filmed in 2005, but didn't get released until 2006, that type of deal. And it made its debuted in the USA on this Blu-ray. Yeah, first off, if you didn't know this, Kawatani actually does the score for this movie, who also scored the Gamera trilogy and GMK, and the score is fucking great. It actually comes as a bonus feature on this release, where you can listen to the score by itself, which was it's a cool thing. I actually really dig that option. Really fucking awesome. Another few Asian nerd moments is when we get to see Ken's work girlfriend, the girl that he actually dates, and it's his co-worker. I'm like, wait a minute, why does this girl look familiar? I had to look it up. It's the actress who played fucking Kayako in the fucking Ju-on and Grudge movies. I fucking was mind blown because I never seen her in anything without her crawling on all fours and doing a fucking death rattle I was like, what the fuck? It was kind of cool to see her in a normal role, but it was kind of off-putting because I'm just thinking, is this a prequel to Ju-on? Is Ken gonna be killing her? And also, if you're a fan like the Gamera films, again, there's actually a very small role. I can't think of the actor's name off the top of my head, but it's the guy who plays Inspector Osako from the Gamera trilogy. He's also in this movie, and you know, I always like seeing him, and he has a funny scene that opens the movie. And yeah, there's some cool effects. For the budget that this movie had, there's actually a lot of cool ideas for it that spray out. This movie is so much fun. This is like a hidden gem of the era. I'm so glad that SRS put this out, because it's a film I heard about for years and I always wanted to check it out. And I'm glad I did. It's a fun sci-fi romp, you know. If you're looking for something a little bit more horror during the time period, this definitely is not going to be for you. But overall, when I remember watching like old school AMC or like TCM, they used to play like a lot of like these sci-fi slash horror movies in a way where they were kind of like borderline horror, but they were still like sci-fi. So I still watch these type of movies during this time period. You know, it does have a feeling. If you're a fan of like the tokusatsu genre, wow, tokusatsu, yeah, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. This is a love letter to that. And if you're like a toy collector, there's a love letter to that. You know, it's just a cute little movie, and you know, it runs. You know, it's like a Twilight Zone episode. That's what it feels like in that sense, and it's a pretty good one, and it has some cool effects in it. I really dug the fuck out of this for what it was. You know, I don't usually rate movies like this, but this is a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me. I really fucking enjoyed this. This was fucking so good. This is everything that I hoped for from this movie to be, you know, and even more. You know, I appreciate what Norman did with this movie. Such a cool movie. Really fucking dug it. The iDol. Check it out. Pick it up on SRS. I know this is like a, you know, the Blu-rays. I don't know if there's like a wider release, but you get this on their site still. It actually was like $19, I think, plus shipping. So yeah, check it out. All right, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the iDol. That's one of my favorite watches of this month so far. Really fucking dug it in. As always, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.